can I tell the whole story? I said, for what you're wanting to charge for these tubs, it better do the job right now. I'm not helping it. I've spent a lifetime taking care of cattle. To have a chance to give back to both the industry that I've been in my whole life and to First Nations people and try and build something is what brought me here. We know for a fact some of these cows are anywhere from 15 to 18 years old. Some of these cows had so much net wrap in them that we actually had a vet that was doing that C-section, and he reached and he thought he had the calf, and he actually had a ball of plastic that he thought was a hoof. These cows have enough that actually over half of their rumen is full of plastic. So the mental side of it, of losing stuff because they aren't strong enough, it was really taking its toll. And my whole family is involved in managing this place. It is not just me. All of us were starting to struggle a bit. Before Riomax, I was just feeding liquid molasses, but they were struggling bad and we were having a rough go of it. When I reached out, the gentleman that brought the tub said, well, you might not take them off that molasses real quick because, let this stuff get in their system. And I said, for what you're wanting to charge for these tubs, it better do the job right now. I'm not helping it. And so I pulled the molasses off of them on that trial on them old cows, and it took off. Like they never changed what they were. They didn't drop off. They just moved forward. And after 2 weeks, you noticed a difference in the bulls. You could see the cows picking up probably energy-wise better, but the bulls started to kind of look better physically. And by 30 days, the cows had filled in, and the bulls are absolutely, you would never known that they were a little bit lacking behind. I was desperately looking for something to get us to grass, and Riomax did that job. They probably put on 150, close to 200 pounds, filled in their back line, and then that gave them enough strength by utilizing the feed to actually care for their calves and not go down. You can see it in their eyes, no different than people. Like when they're either healthy or they're not, and those cows started looking healthy again. And so, a lot of them might have been on their last term, but at least they got to thrive through that last term. And it also, by putting the weight back on them, it benefited us as well. So it took them from being a D1, D2 cow to a D2, D3. Into each one of those cows, it probably gained us, say, $700 to $800 pretty easy. It definitely helps pay for tubs, right? And what it put into the calves too. So I wouldn't look at that it just paid for the cow, because that old cow in the shape that they were in, they would not have had as good a calves as they did if they hadn't have been utilizing the feed, because it allowed them to start putting into their calves. Those cattle from there took off. Those cows have good energy. Those cows are calving and still staying full. And those calves are hitting the ground and wanting to go. Like, they're not like beef cows, they're more like longhorn calves. Like they're hitting the ground, getting up, and they're ready to go. They have the vigor to get up and just start growing. And then in turn, that's gonna give us a lot healthier calves, which means we're gonna be treating a lot less calves. For one, that's just, you talk about low stress handling, that's the least amount of stress comes from not touching them. Your manpower hours, your drug costs, all that starts going down. A cow thrives on sunshine and monotony. So as long as we can keep them content to that matter and keep them healthy without adding a bunch of cost of other things. I don't put fly spray on them. I don't. The only thing we add is our salt. We put garlic. So I'm still trying to stay as natural as I can. If they didn't utilize the feed to the degree that they do with Riomax, they wouldn't be as healthy as they are. Knowing that they're that healthy without me being out there all the time, that part of it's almost priceless, because you only have so much time. If we keep bringing stronger animals into the environment and cleaner digestive tracts, then we're putting cleaner microbiome on the ground. We're actually, something's coming through the cow that's feeding that on the ground rather than killing it. I think by being a steward of the land, the cleaner we can keep it, the more natural we can keep it, the better off we are. Because I took over in the fall, I kept the weights. And so last fall compared to the first fall, so we weaned 2 weeks earlier, and on average, we gained 12 pounds. So that is a big payment, right? When you get 12 pounds across 700 plus calves, talking between $4 and $5 a pound, that's a lot of money, right? So our bulls this year, we never got around to worming or putting any kind of insecticide or anything on them. And they wintered just with the tubs and just with us feeding them what we would normally feed them. and they've looked the best that they've looked since I've had control of this ranch to manage it. Actually, I would say almost uncanny how good they look without any kind of input. I'm sure there's a lot of factors, but a lot of it is they are utilizing what they eat because Riomax is letting them do that. Almost 40 head of bulls, and we have not had not one illness issue. They do not sit and camp on these, not like a straight molasses tub. A lot of guys say that their tub is cheaper, but they will stand there and they will eat it. A lot of the reason is because there's salt in it to get them to eat it along with the molasses. They do not camp on these tubs. They get what they need and they go about their way. It's really hard to budget that much, but it's really hard to tell yourself not to. I've got to find a way in the fall when they're doing what they're supposed to do. It's hard not to feed it. And I know is it a tub that, if you're going to is it the tub pays for itself? It more than covers its own costs, I believe. And which any input in your animal you should gain off from it, not just break even or fall behind. Does it pay for itself? Yes, it does. Even though the price is high, it does.